A brief point on the air conditioning systems installed 2019, you said?
Yes.
What's the cost of those implants?
That should be a little over $500,000, about $550,000.
Can you narrow the time frame of when they will be installed?
Just early 2019, because my understanding is they are actually going to have to be custom made. And so that is the earliest we can put a timeline on that.
Can you say who has the contract for those on the purchasing side and the installation side?
Don't have that information, but I'm sure it's not a huge secret. We can find out what they are. Go ahead, Morgan.
Can you respond to criticism that the Prime Minister's response to the Haitian earthquake was not very empathetic?
I can, but listen, the Prime Minister, he's expressed and demonstrated empathy for all citizens of the Bahamas, citizens of those countries impacted by earthquakes, hurricanes down in the Caribbean. The Prime Minister will do whatever he can, always has, for those who are disadvantaged, beginning with Bahamians. Prime Minister was doing what he is mandated to do as Prime Minister of the Bahamas, and that is express concern that whatever happens in Haiti or any other country, we're not adversely impacted by whatever happens there. Prime Minister is always concerned. He's talked again about those who've come here, and we're dealing with in the shanty towns, and the fact that we're going to deal with everybody as humanely as possible. But after you've gone past all of that, Prime Minister Hubert Minnis is the Prime Minister of the Bahamas. And whatever other relationship we happen to have with Haiti, we have a difficult one with illegal people attempting to come into the Bahamas illegally from Haiti. We have to be concerned about that, and that is all he was doing.
But do you think there's a double standard between the way you responded to Dominica after Hurricane Maria versus the way you're responding to Haiti right now?
Not at all. They reached out for assistance, and he did that. And whatever we can do, as we always do, for anyone who asks for our assistance, we will do that.
I know that there's been a lot of recent talk about the dialysis unit at PMH.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of talks about the funds and getting more seats and stuff for that as well. Is the air conditioning issue taking precedent to that, or is that being
It's something that's been ongoing, as is the situation with dialysis. So it's not that that's necessarily taking precedence. It's another one of those that the entire Princess Margaret Hospital has been for many years. It's just another one of those things that have to be ticked off, if you will. That happens to be one of them.
What's been the dialogue between the government of the Bahamas and the government of Haiti? Has Haiti specifically asked for assistance of the Bahamian government?
Not that I'm aware of in my conversations either with the Prime Minister or with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Has that happened since we spoke yesterday? I'm not aware of that.
So given the size of the Haitian community here in the Bahamas, are there any plans to send assistance to Haiti?
At this moment, not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of.
Where did the Prime Minister get the intelligence that the prison in Haiti was compromised?
We didn't have that discussion. He may wish to keep that to himself, but if he wants to talk about it, he will. But we didn't have that conversation.
Has any formal communication been sent to the Haitian government expressing the sentiments of the PM?
About?
About the concerns of increase of illegal immigration?
Whatever concerns we have is generally and usually communicated by the Minister of Foreign Affairs. I'm sure whatever those concerns are, the Minister of Foreign Affairs would be the one to communicate that.
So are you aware if it has been done? Or?
No, I'm not aware that anything has been done about that. Again, this is something that recently happened. As we meet here now, they are in cabinet. Lots of things come out of that cabinet discussion.
What about the investigation of the Prime Minister had promised into Bahamas Power and Light? I think that 3 weeks ago we were identified that the terms and references were being considered. Are we there yet? How soon will the investigation happen?
He hasn't determined when that will be.
The public if I can say, has a view that this may be being swept under the rug. How do you respond to the delay that we've seen in the investigation?
The Prime Minister is not about to sweep anything under the rug. He's promised an investigation. You'll have that investigation. Some people may not like the investigation or the results of it, but he's not about to sweep anything under the rug. One of the things that Prime Minister Minnis he's been known for, he's talked about all the time, no tolerance for corruption. And certainly he's not going to sweep anything under the rug.
How is the relationship between the Prime Minister and Pine Ridge MP Frederick McAlpine?
They're colleagues in the Free National Movement. He is the Prime Minister. He's an MP for Pine Ridge.
Would you say that there are frosty tensions between the two of them?
Not that I'm aware of.
Is Mr. McAlpine still considered to be an MP of good standing?
He's an MP, a member of the government, representative of the people of Pine Ridge, and doing what he thinks those people wish for him to do.
So he's still considered to be in good standing?
He's a member of the Free National Movement and a member of the government.
Just one more question on the BPL matter. Has anyone been identified to take charge of that investigation as you?
The Prime Minister hasn't indicated that to me as yet, no.
Do you know if it'll be an independent party or a government committee?
Whatever the parameters of that investigation are, the Prime Minister will let us know.
You'd also updated us recently on the Ministry of Finance's audit. Do you know when that will be released? I believe you'd said it.
There was an audit that should have been sent to when the audit is released. We're not going to say, come downstairs, come get this audit. It's sent to the Speaker of the Parliament, who will determine when that is laid on the House, and then the public will have access to that audit.
Where is the audit now then?
As far as I'm aware, it was sent to it should have been sent to the Speaker a week ago, according to the Auditor General. That's the last bit of information I'm aware of.
Can you apprise us of how much that audit cost?
No, I don't have the cost for the audit. But that will also be, as is tabled, the cost of that audit will be tabled as well.
We were also made to understand that the water and sewage audit that was completed earlier this year, it went beyond the original scope of the audit, which meant some additional cost.
Mhm.
Can you tell us what the cost of that audit is now?
No, I think the chairman spoke about that. It may have been $300,000-$400,000. I think he may have said at the time he spoke on it. I haven't had reason to follow up on that in recent times. But I'm sure the chairman would have the specific information about the cost of that audit.
The Water and Sewage Corporation also said that they were going to look into visa packages for water and sewage. Is there any update on how many persons they're willing to let go? Is it across the board, or how much money is the government trying to save with these visa packages?
The government is trying to make sure that water and sewage is efficient, as it wants all of the corporations and departments to be. How many people will be given that BSEP? They'll have to look at the people who actually apply for it and make a determination. Again, the idea is to make sure that the water and sewage is still efficient. So they will have to look at who applied for those packages and make a determination at that time.
Well, can you comment on water and sewage's current financial fundings?
Can I comment on it?
Yes.
No, I can't comment on it. I have no information on their current. We know that water and sewage is one of those corporations over the years that we've heard about. And there's some, you call them poster children for criticism from the Bahamian people about corporations or departments that are always in the red. Water and sewage was one of them. Talk about Bahamas Air. Talk about ZNS. You know that these are corporations that have not been ones that you say they make money. And so there's always a concern about all of them. Going back to what I said earlier, the management and board of the corporation, they want to make sure that water and sewage is efficient. And the chairman has talked about some of the things they've done recently, like, for instance, collect a lot of outstanding monies that people have not paid. So there's always a concern that at some point, if not making money, because it could be considered an essential service, at least it would come close to breaking even. Right.
Going back to Haiti, is there a way, just for the record, to substantiate the Prime Minister's claim about the prison or his concern about the prison in Haiti?
Is there a way to substantiate it?
Yes.
I'm sure. You're good investigative reporters. I'm sure you will find.
I mean, that was a claim by the PM. His
Okay.
secretary.
Okay. And he says, this is my information, and
Do you know where you got that information from?
no, this is his information, and I guess if you are not comfortable with that information, I'm sure you will find out.
Going
All
back
right.
to
Go ahead.
Going back to Princess Margaret, has there been any further conversations about, patients not paying their fees or, not giving the hospital the money that they owe them to get certain things done? Like in terms of paying for the air conditioning, what's gonna be done in terms of getting the money back and plugging this money back in, because it's coming from somewhere.
Yeah, and whatever the minister said about that, about how they operate the hospital, is what will be the way forward. The most efficient, humane way to operate that is the way it's going to be done. And I'm sure the minister and those who run the PHA are devising ways for them to do exactly that. And, I won't get into it any further than that, except to say, governments are elected to do the business for the people. They're working for the people, and people shouldn't think that governments don't care about what's happening with them. That's why they're there. The minister is a doctor. He's been in that hospital for years. Actually, he's been complaining about it for years too, which is one of the reasons why he wanted to be the minister, to see what he could do to make the situation a little better, a lot better, in fact, for his fellow citizens. All right?
Quick question. The Prime Minister had promised town meetings on the Disney's proposed Lighthouse Point. Do you know how soon those town meetings could begin?
No, and again, somebody asked me about Eleuthera. He may very well be going there tomorrow, but again, I'm not sure whether that will be for a town meeting or for him to just talk to them about his trips to the UN. But as soon as we're aware, we'll let you know. Okay? Thank you, everyone.